Today, we're going to talk you through some 3D maneuvering. Let's get to it. Proper setup is everything. A good 3D aircraft has full throws. This one is set to 150% rates with push rods positioned for maximum travel and torque. We switch between 150%, 100%, and 70% rates depending on the maneuver being performed. Some maneuvers require rate changes because the surface deflections can act like air brakes if you don't tamp them down. Any good 3D routine begins with a good takeoff. Throttle up slowly and use rudder to prevent the torque of the motor from taking the model off course. Then let the tail rise and begin flying. Lift up gently to begin. We use a variant on takeoff that we call a snap takeoff. This is done by performing a snap roll once sufficient altitude is gained. A snap roll is a simple maneuver to enter and will serve as a great introduction to 3D flight. Command full up elevator, full aileron in your chosen direction, full throttle, and matching rudder. We chose left movement here. The model violently enters a high G maneuver and tumbles in the direction of the stick commands. We recommend learning how to perform upright Harriers as your first post-stall 3D maneuver. A Harrier is distinct from high alpha but is often confused with it. The wings still fly in high alpha, but in Harrier, the model flies purely on thrust alone. To begin a Harrier, hold back elevator pressure and gently apply throttle as the increasing angle of attack causes the model to slow down. If you're flying a well-balanced model, it will not wing rock, which is the phenomenon you see where the wings take turns stalling asymmetrically. You're seeing some of that wing rocking here. Try to ignore it and keep thrust up. The Harrier mix that we use, check the setup guide for more, forces the ailerons up into the prop wash, which helps stabilize the wings and reduces rocking. Once you're confident with Harriers, begin using rudder to turn the model in the direction you'd like to go. If you turn left, you'll need right aileron to keep the wings level, and vice versa. Harrier control will form an important foundation of your post-stall 3D flying skill set. Spend as much time as you need to get it down. It is an incredibly useful skill to learn. A great next step to move up to is knife edge flight. Flying sideways with a model designed for 3D aerobatics is pretty simple. Enter by applying throttle, then rotate the model so the wings are vertical, and add rudder to stabilize the model. If you rolled left, add right rudder. If you rolled right, add left rudder. You may need to apply some aileron in the opposite direction of rudder input to maintain stability. This is called yaw coupling, and it's crucial to understand how to push through it and correct for the deviations. Next up is the wall, followed immediately by a waterfall. A wall is a simple pitch up command, with or without thrust. A neutral CG will cause the model to pitch up quickly and come to a dead stop in the air. A waterfall is performed by pushing the elevator stick fully down with half to full throttle to force the model to tumble inverted. This can be chained together to go directly into a maneuver like inverted Harrier. Now we're firmly into intermediate maneuvers. Inverted Harrier is a lot trickier than upright Harrier. Enter by holding gentle down elevator pressure with half to quarter throttle, feeling it out. If the plane begins to nose up too much, reduce throttle and elevator slightly. If it begins nosing down, add more throttle and elevator. Steering is performed entirely with rudder. As the plane flies away from you, right rudder causes the plane to turn left. Left rudder turns right. This changes when it flies towards you. Right rudder turns right, left rudder turns left. Hovering is tricky at first, but you'll get it through constant practice. Altitude is controlled by throttle. Once you find the sweet spot, the plane will hold itself nose up. We found it easiest to start learning with the canopy facing you. If the plane begins pointing at you, push the elevator down gently. If it points away, pull back slightly. Hold a little bit of right aileron to counter the torque of the motor. If the model begins to yaw to the left or to the right, counter with rudder input to keep the nose high. Once you feel confident, you can move to torque rolling. Torque rolling is hovering, but the model is allowed to spin freely from the motor's torque. You'll have to be able to control it in every direction it spins for it to remain stable. This will take a lot of practice and may be frustrating, but the more you do it, the better you'll get. Practice holding a hover in different orientations until you feel confident to try this. Knife edge spins are our favorite maneuver and are incredible to watch. Begin by climbing high, then push the nose down and cut power. Hold the nose down, add slight left aileron, then add full left rudder and full throttle. The model should begin falling while spinning around its wings. Without full power, it performs a half-hearted spin that isn't nearly as impressive. Rolling Harrier. One of the more difficult maneuvers you can perform. We roll to the left. So, begin by rolling left and add right rudder and throttle up as the model turns sideways. As it rotates inverted, add down elevator. As it rotates, add left rudder and throttle up. As it levels out, add up elevator. Repeat as many times as you can to keep it rolling, or consider trying a variant of it. Like this, what we call the Rolling Harrier pirouette. This maneuver took us a solid week of practice in January of 2021 to really nail down, and we still don't perform it perfectly. It's okay to fail. Learn from the mistakes you made and improve yourself. Don't be afraid to keep trying. One of the more common areas where people give up on flying is wind. It's not your enemy. Think of wind like a friend who comes along with you and pushes you to try harder and improve yourself. Depending on where you live, wind can be an annoying friend who's always there that you can't escape. You can't always pick the weather, but you can choose to fly in it. Getting good at flying in wind can mean the difference between flying or not flying at all. Just be more cautious with throttle and always be ready to add more if needed. If a model gets caught in a downdraft, you'll want the thrust to fly out of the air mass. Some of the most unique fun can be had while flying in turbulent winds. Once you get used to flying with wind, you hone skills necessary to become a better pilot overall, and we'd love to see you build yourselves up. Lightly loaded wings like the Extra can be challenging to perform 3D routines with in wind, so don't give up. Everyone faces challenges that we've got to overcome. A friendly word of warning: beware of ESC thermal protection, lest you end up doing the walk of shame.
Power died. Overheated. Happens. Gotta watch out for your ESC temps.
Don't let your ESC overheat in summer. Give your model plenty of time to cool down in between flights. If you're new, I'm John, by the way. Please don't mind my voice. I'm doing my best to record this video without losing what's left of my voice after catching coronavirus last week. It's difficult to talk, but you guys are worth the effort.
Learn 3D with because it takes beatings really well.
We hope you found this useful. In the meantime, please consider joining us on Discord. The link is in the description. And if you could, kindly smash that like and subscribe button. See you guys on Saturday.